the sun is not speaking. Now, this officer, he was a 21-year veteran of the department, and he was 48 years old. And he sounds, when you read about him, just like an incredible man and a police officer. Tragic story.
Sad, very sad.
Hey,
Get us in a better mood.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. A tornado touched down in Lenawee County on Sunday night with those big storms we had. This was the first tornado to touch down there since 2010. And according to the weather agency, it touched down at 9:23 p.m. and it was on the ground for 4 minutes. And its estimated peak winds were 90 miles per hour, and it traveled 2.7 miles. So it was technically a weak tornado. It was not a very strong tornado, but at least 5 homes were still damaged. Several outbuildings, barns, and trees in the area were also damaged as well. But thankfully, there were no injuries reported.
That's good.
Yes.
I really thought that we were going to lose power here at our house Sunday night. That storm, it was going, I mean, even when I woke up to get ready for the show on Monday, there was still thunder and lightning going on. And I thought, oh wow, my first day back after vacation and I'm going to lose power. I won't be able to log in, but we did, thankfully. But I know it affected a lot of people.
Yeah, we had a great show on the drive-in. That's for sure. The lightning show.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You guys probably heard about this, but the Harlem Globetrotters, they want to become an NBA franchise. So they want the NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver to acknowledge their influence on how the game is played today and make them an official NBA team. So they kind of wrote this open letter, and they said, based on what we've already proven, we can field a team of talent on par with the pros today, and we want the chance to do that. This letter went on, and the Globetrotters also said that while they appreciate what the NBA has done to grow the game, they believe that they were the influencers of the sport, and they ended by saying, don't get it twisted, basketball would not be what it is today without us.
They're right. I mean, they were amazing influence, but it's, I think they just want to be notified they're not going to be an expansion team.
No.
Can you imagine? Let me ask you this: if he was, I don't even know if he's alive, so this is even a really dumb question. Curly Neal, if he was like coming out today, where would he be in today's NBA? Nowhere. I mean, he can sit and spin the ball. Can you imagine they're doing all those tricks during an NBA game?
But it would.
Entertaining.
It'd be awesome.
That's true. Do you ever take your kids to see the Globetrotters?
I don't know if my kids, I don't think have. I've seen them a number of times.
Yeah, my kids love them.
I'm sure.
Oh.
How could you not?
I know.
How could you not?
They're so fun to watch, that's for sure. Okay, so like I mentioned before my news, there's so many people that are going to get married this year. There's so many people that had plans to get married in 2020, and then those plans were just completely canceled because of the coronavirus. So a lot of people are going to get married this year, and Sam Adams wants to help them pay for their wedding. Okay, so Sam Adams is actually offering $10,000 to 3 lucky couples if they mention Sam Adams' summer ale in their wedding vows. So you've got to sneak that in somewhere when you're talking about how much you love your partner before you say, I guess it could be after you say I do, but still within your vows. It's got to get in there somehow. And basically, this, if you want to call it a competition, is going on now through July 14th, and couples can enter by submitting a video of their wedding vows online. So you've got to get some mention of Sam Adams' summer ale.
I'm sure there's going to be some very creative.
Oh, yes.
Yes, without a doubt. Of course, they say participants must be, legal drinking age. You got to be 21, and the winners will be announced on or around August 2nd.
My beloved, someday, I hope he tastes as good as Sam Adams' summer ale.
There could be some super funny ones. I think it could be quite fun to watch how people incorporate that for sure. But what a way to win
10 grand.
$10,000.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, it's
Not
only a
guaranteed.
possibility.
Right.
Of
I know.
You gotta take that
Exactly.
chance.
Yeah.
It depends how much it's going to tick off your future wife.
Well, I'm sure you do
Well,
it.
she's got to be in on
Oh,
it.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what do you, could be the woman.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, maybe she wants
Maybe
it.
the
Yeah.
woman wants to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what we all hope for.
Yes. I wish I would have ended up with Sam Adams instead of you.
Yeah. I guess I could drink
be named Samuel Adams Summerall Johnson.
All right, so I've got some coffee news. I feel like there's always studies about coffee and how much coffee you should drink and how much coffee you shouldn't drink. Well, of course, there was a team of researchers in Scotland that just looked at how late in the day you can drink coffee and not have it basically affect your sleep. So the answer is stop drinking coffee or basically anything with caffeine 6 hours before bed. Anytime after that, and it can really mess up, they say, your internal clock.
That's me.
Sense? Yeah, I mean, this
I
isn't
can't
that
drink
shocking.
coffee late in the day.
Oh,
And then
I
we'll
can
just
drink it right after
keep
going to bed.
So could I.
Yeah, and,
I
and
feel like
fall
I
asleep
could,
like a
too.
baby.
I get like
I don't drink
beans.
coffee, but
It's weird. Like Diet Coke, for some reason, if I have a lot, if I'm out like eating late, that affects me more as far as my sleep with the coffee.
Really?
really,
Yeah.
maybe it has some more caffeine in it. I don't know how much caffeine is in either, but I don't think it would affect my sleep. But they also found, well, a different study found that drinking 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day can actually lower your risk for liver cancer.
All
So
right.
drink up and drink it early in the day, basically, if you combine both of them.
Cheers.
We got it right
Yes.
here.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much, Heather. All right. Coming up next, the Pistons, as you know, win the lottery. Is Cunningham a no-brainer in your mind? 97-1 and 2.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Tonight in the pro basketball playoffs, Milwaukee hosts Atlanta. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Milwaukee a 7-point home favorite. Atlanta plus 235 on the money line. Total sitting at 227. As far as the spread is concerned, it seems exactly where it needs to be. Milwaukee very likely to win the game. Not sure if they're going to cover, but the total, there's some opportunity there, and we want to play the over here. Atlanta without its best wing defender, so Milwaukee's 2-time MVP going to be able to get to the rim with ease, and Atlanta's going to need to speed up the tempo of this series here. Not going to be able to slow it down like they did against Philadelphia. Milwaukee's going to be able to score a ton of points. Atlanta's going to have to score to keep up. So over 227 would be the play. Game 1 tonight, Milwaukee and Atlanta. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Hi friends, Bill Golly here for Golly Buick GMC in Lake Orion. Tell you about some of the great values going on all month long during our summer sales event. Right now, GM employees, family members can lease a 2021 GMC Acadia front-wheel drive SLE for just $231 a month. Leases for 24 months, 10,000 miles a year with 1,000 due at signing. We have 22 various Acadias available with more on the way. So come see us. You'll be glad you did. That's Golly Buick GMC, located on M24 just south of Clarkson Road in Lake Orion. Learn more online at GollyBG.com.
Looking to sell your house? Call Jeff Glover, the official realtor of the Detroit Tigers. Call 855-JEFF-SELLS or visit housesoldname.com.
Welcome to AutoZone. Oh, dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email, so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report, backed by the most robust database of technician solutions. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
With 24/7 customer service and guaranteed repairs, your Progressive policy works the way it's supposed to. Unlike this stressful meditation guide.
Take a deep breath. Focus on all the things you have to do. Did someone make the vet appointment yet? You don't know? That feels like something you should know.
Switch to Progressive today.
You are a mess.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Repairs through Progressive Network. Insurance guaranteed for as long as you own or lease your car.
Have you experienced basement leaks? Water is more than annoying. It can cause damage to your home and foundation. It starts at your roofline and can collect around your home, causing a mess in your basement or crawl space. Call Foundation Systems of Michigan. We are experts in managing water around your home. From gutters to waterproofing solutions, we have a full line of products to put an end to your water problems for good.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Capurro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734
fans, Lady Luck, Lottery Luck, finally goes with the Detroit team as the Pistons get the #1 pick in the draft. We would have all been pretty happy with 2 or 3. We were ecstatic. We are ecstatic. Detroit Sports Nation. I've seen some of the videos. Obviously, Pistons, most of their rain charts in Chicago.
Take the second exit onto Orchard Lake Road.
So that their families too as well. So Dwayne Casey's wife shot a video of the reaction. Got to find out from Troy Weaver when he joins us at 8:35. He knows if Casey wore his lucky holy underwear yesterday.
I would imagine he did. I mean, they got pretty lucky, and he said he was going to.
Yeah. By the way, give credit to David Hall, the producer of the Valente Enrico program. 5 o'clock, they had a prayer. Let everybody look a sermon type of Cade Cunningham, and it worked. The fade for Cade worked. Finally. Now, the question I have at 248-539-9797, is this a no-brainer? Gov says yes. I think he should be the pick. I do think you really do have to do a little homework and do your due diligence. I'm sure all these teams do to make sure that he is a home run. He is not a franchise-altering player, what everybody says, as, LeBron, Zion.
Right.
And we understand that. But he is a great player. And yes, mistakes are made. I mentioned Michael Olokini. There have been mistakes at number ones in all sports. But to me, what makes him great, and like I said, all I've seen is highlights of Green. I didn't watch G League basketball, shouldn't. Cunningham, he's composed. When they need a basket, he at least attempts to take the basket. He's a really good three-point shooter. I mean, you can sit there and say, well, Stoney, he only shot, 43% from the field, in college at Oklahoma State. And he shot 40% from three, which is pretty impressive. He's 6'8", he can defend, he can pass. He's got all the tools, and he's perfect in today's NBA. We had a previous caller, JT, who's, talking about Mobley from USC. He's a big guy, can do a lot of things.
Not big man.
Great player. Granted, you don't need a big post player that much anymore to take with the #1 pick. I mean, he's a great player. Rim defender. We saw that a little bit from him in the NCAA tournament. But if you want to say, if the detractors, as Gov mentioned, people say, well, he didn't look great in that tournament. Mobley, to me, in the game where they got drilled by Gonzaga, right? He didn't look so good, did he?
Well, I don't think so. No. But when you think about Cade Cunningham, you talk about guys that can, create their own shot, that can, and he's that guy. Or if he's not going to be your point guard, right, he played that spot in college.
Right.
He can, and we talked about yesterday a great example. Chris Paul's out. Devin Booker takes over as the point guard. Now you have that guy in Cade Cunningham where if your point guard is out, for whatever reason, he can take over that responsibility and you're not going to lose much.
So, yeah, Stoney, I will say that I do believe he could be a franchise-altering player.
Okay.
But because we'll go back to what I said earlier about where I think Cunningham ranks coming out in terms of best prospects. #1 overall picks is all we use. We didn't bring up Dwayne Wade and that kind of stuff.
Right.
It was just #1s. That I would put him coming out at a higher grade than Blake Griffin in terms of and I think Blake Griffin was a franchise-altering player.
Yes.
So I think Cunningham has the capability. I'll just go back to Jay Billis again. He said he's 6'8", he's a point guard, he's extraordinary abilities. Jay Billis doesn't throw around the word extraordinary very much. Mm-hmm. He says he's got all the tools. He doesn't say things like that very much. A complete player, a playmaker, a three-level scorer, shoots 40% from three. Yeah. I'm not saying this morning that he's the best player in this draft 10 years down the road. What I'm saying is there's no way you can pass on him based on his abilities coming out.
And you know what else? He's a great fit for what they have right now.
He's a great fit for this town.
Yes.
He's a selfless guy. What you mentioned about him staying committed to Oklahoma State after they got put on probation, those are qualities that you didn't find in a human being. He's got the bloodline. His dad played quarterback in college. His older brother played college hoops.
Yeah. He was
you can't find and he said that made him a better passer. You can't find a better prospect. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the best, but because, again, you bring up Dwayne Wade. LeBron was still better.
Right.
But Dwayne Wade was better than Darko and Carmelo.
That's for sure.
So is Chris Bosh.
Yes. There's one name I think you missed that I think you can put in this list of your guys like Anthony Davis, Derek Wills. Granted, the injury hurt him, but he was. I mean,
Again, I personally believe he's a better prospect because of all the tools. I told you it's the five. It's the baseball comparison. The 5 tools. He's got that.
Yeah, he can shoot, he can defend, he can pass, and he's got the size.
And people in this town, he fits here.
248-539-9797. That is the telephone number and the ticket text. We have some ticket texts. So freaking excited to be a Piston fan. I was screaming so loud when we won. I woke up my 4-month-old. Cade has the makeup and potential to be a monster. 6'8" point guard that can shoot, has passing ability, and is athletic. Said also he'll be a seamless fit with the other rookies we have from last year. This is going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
We believe the way these kids are going to grow up together. I think it's going to be fantastic. Alex and Jim says, "Welcome to the motorcade."
Not bad.
Will he be the best Cade in tennis?
Can you imagine that? That's what I think Cade Cunningham's going to do. Michigan's back.
I know.
They got their unicorn on new back in front.
That's right. Name from a garbage truck. Detroit's luck has changed, and it changed during the NFL draft when Sue fell to them at 7.
Yeah.
Detroit will have all 3 teams in the playoffs by 2023.
I don't. Okay, I can see the Lions. I can see the Pistons. It gets so narrow when you're talking about baseball. Yeah.
Can the number 1 pick Bill Eli refuse to play? That's what I see.
Oh no, he's already said the only team he's going to visit
Yes.
is the Pistons.
It's not in his DNA to be that kind of person.
It's got the franchise has great history.
Yes.
It's not like going to the Lions as a number 1 overall pick where they haven't won a championship in over 60 years. This is a team that has great history. That's why Troy Weaver said this is a strong.
And if he's looking at it from afar with the draft capital and just the way the there's no baggage here.
And for the length of it, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, you've got Killian Hayes, you've got some great young players to continue to grow with throughout your career.
I'm with Gov. I think Jalen Green will be the best player in the draft, but if you're a GM and pass up Cade, that could get you fired for trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
That's the question. That's a
Yeah,
great
and
point.
thank you because that's what I am saying.
Right.
You cannot not take it. You can't.
Don from Oxford says, my question about the NBA draft would be, is this young man that you're talking about going to add to the chemistry that the Pistons seem to have been building last year, or will he disrupt it? I think he fits right in. That's a great question, but from all indications, and we talked about things like, sticking with his commitment at Oklahoma State, being selfless, not trying to be a ball hog unless they actually need him to score. He's the guy. He fits right in.
That's probably the number 1 reason why I think it's a no-brainer. Because it does fit.
I think if you could get Dwayne Casey or Troy Weaver to be totally honest, and even other people within the franchise, I think they would say off the record timeline changed.
Yeah, probably. Dwayne Casey's timeline changed probably a little bit too. But you know what? That's good. It's a pressure. A lot of these coaches have been free passes, so to speak. We're criticizing here and there, but because the talent, we're so of talent that that's what they do with flash. So look, it's so cool right now. You have something to hang on, and I don't know what his personality's like, but if he has any type of magnetism about that person, he will own the town. I mean, we haven't had
A superstar that you could get behind and you wanted to cheer for and was personable. I mean, I know we had Matthew Stafford.
right.
But it wasn't, they weren't a winning team. They weren't going anywhere. And now you have the Lions with Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Penny Sewell. You have that momentum. You have the momentum of the Tigers playing better since May 5th, and A.J. Hinch and the belief that you have in him. Steve Yzerman with the Red Wings and what you see him trying to construct. And now with the Pistons, with Troy Weaver and everything that he is doing with the bold moves that he made last year in the draft, finding some great talent to sign, but developing that young talent and now getting the number 1 overall pick, a lot of momentum here in Detroit.
Well, we'll ask you this at 248-539-9797. Has the pendulum turned? Are we at that level? Hey, yesterday was a perfect day to get the number one pick because all the restrictions were lifted. We crossed the border on the pandemic, and we started to cross the border when it comes to Detroit being a sucky sports town. 97-1.
Hey, I want to tell you about my personal bank, and that's Level One Bank. They handle all of my financial needs, from my checking, my savings. They even handle my mortgage. And I want to take a minute to tell you about this because they took the time to get to know me and understand my situation, educated me throughout the entire mortgage process, and were responsive with all my questions. And trust me, I had a ton of them. Level One Bank offers competitive mortgage rates and a wide array of mortgage products. Even schedule a free, no obligation consultation to see how much home you might be able to afford or how much you can save if you simply refi. Make the call, sign up online, do whatever you got to do. There is no commitment. Find out. It couldn't be any simpler. And Level One Bank is a local community bank, Michigan-based for Michigan families with loan officers that live and bank locally right in your own neighborhood. You can trust the local mortgage experts at Level One Bank. More information at level1bank.com/John Jansen Mortgage. That's level1bank.com/John Jansen Mortgage. Level One Bank is a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, a problem was popped up on the right shoulder. There's a crash along 696 westbound after Orchard Lake Road, really not causing too much of an issue for drivers at this point. Construction coming up today for 96 eastbound, the connector ramp to eastbound 696 right lane closure, and a left lane closure scheduled today for the 275 northbound ramp to westbound 96. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
This Odyssey.com Sports Minute is brought to you by the Lawn Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
This is Omar Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Talk about a no-look pass to set up a slam dunk. Who saw this one coming? The Harlem Globetrotters want to join the NBA, and not down the road, but right now. As an organization whose storied history is already tightly interwoven within that of the NBA, the Harlem Globetrotters are looking for a long overdue seat at the table. The team tweeted yesterday, our players were instrumental in the integration of the league dating back to 1949. We stood proudly as our players were recruited by NBA teams. Globetrotters are 2 decades older than the NBA, and some of the association's biggest stars, Will Chamberlain, Connie Hawkins, and Sweetwater Clifton, toured with the Globies before joining the NBA. I have no idea what's behind the sudden void to join forces, but man, would it be fun to see. Commissioner Silver, I'm Omar Esiason.
Heard you're buying a car. I brought my calculator.
Dad, I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly. Instead of all that.
You know those things impact your credit score.
Didn't impact my credit score, Dad. Now I'm going to the dealership for a test drive and to make the purchase.
Sounds too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/AutoNavigator.
All right, we have Gucci of the bodies coming up in the other room.
And Finley's Fitness, personal trainers shouldn't have to personally do everything.
Gauge that cord. That class started 2 minutes ago. I am late.
Hey Dylan, Indeed can help them hire the people they need.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The COVID-19 vaccine is our best bet at beating the pandemic.
One by one, we get started.
One by one, our kids will go back to school. We come together as a community.
One by one, we go to concerts.
To celebrate together.
One by one, back to business.
As we each get the COVID-19 vaccine.
One by one, we can all breathe a little easier.
Get vaccination updates and the latest information at OaklandCountyVaccine.com.
Every day, someone comes up to me and says, Amy, how amazing is Xfinity Internet? And I always say, guys, I could go on and on about how it gives you more than just fast speeds for all your work, school, and everything from home needs, but I have places to be. I'd also mention you can save up to $400 a year on wireless when you add Xfinity Mobile and get nationwide 5G at no extra cost. But I gotta run. I have a thing. Really, it happens all the time. Can your internet do that?
Save on your wireless bill when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together for just $40 a month. You'll get internet for 12 months with a 1-year agreement and mobile with our 1 gig wireless data option. Visit an Xfinity store to learn how our Switch Squad makes switching fast and easy. Requires paperless billing and autopay. That's 8821. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares optimized pricing of top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Tigers fans, single game tickets for all Tigers home games July through September are on sale now. Don't miss the Red Sox, Rangers, Blue Jays, and more. Tickets start at just $10. Go to tigers.com/tickets. Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit betql.com today. You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Win more and cash in more with the help of BetQL. Download the BetQL app today to learn more. That's BETQL. Listen for the keyword at 1/2 each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply. You could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
248-539-9797. We're asking a question because we're all excited about what happened last night. No, I'm not talking about the Tigers beating the Cardinals. Matt Manning on the mound today. We're parked right here at 97 on The Ticket around 1 o'clock. Pistons win the lottery. We're going crazy. Have we turned the corner? Because when you look at the teams, the Wings didn't have a really good year. They had their draft coming up, and they haven't had really good lottery luck either. And, Sider's really good. You think Valena's good. Raymond's, we think we have some hope there. It's going to take them a little while longer. The Tigers, the young pitchers look pretty good. I wouldn't say awesome yet. Torkelson and Riley Green and Dingler are starting to really hit the ball in Double-A, so there's promise there. The Lions seem to have a plan for the first time where they actually know what they're doing, it seems. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves on this one, but we like what they did in the draft. We like what they did with the Stafford trade, getting draft capital off for the future. And now the Pistons, in Troy Weaver's first draft, picked up 3 really good players. Well, I'm giving Killian Hayes, I'm saying he's going to be really good. That might not happen, but he was hurt most of the year. Hopefully, as soon as we could be better this coming year. Sadiq Bey was on the all-rookie team. Isaiah Stewart was second all-rookie team. He looks really good. Even Saban Lee looks pretty good. So now you have number 1 pick. So I joked for a while. Rebuild city. Well, the foundations seem to have been laid now, and now we're getting some pieces to build the houses, and it's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully, nothing screws it up. But I think we've started to turn the corner. I'm not saying we're going to be in a championship game in the next 3 or 4 years, but I think our teams should all be pretty damn competitive soon.
There's no question they should be competitive soon. And you just went through the list, and I think the Pistons and the Lions are the ones, and I mentioned it last segment, that can turn things around the quickest because of the development of the hockey players, the development in baseball, and some of the gamble that it is drafting high schoolers and 18, 19-year-olds, because you do that in basketball, because Kate, if he ends up being the draft pick, he's only 19 years old. He won't be 20 until September. So there's still some risk involved in drafting 18, 19, 20-year-olds. But then when you look at what the Lions are doing as well, there is just this feeling of things could be going right.
Like 4 or 5 years ago, I kind of speculated, my gosh, I think we're headed for the 70s again. And I'm too young to remember that sports era, but it was god-awful. Yeah. And I think we're in 1980. didn't see it at the time, but I think the big trigger here, I'll give Al Avila credit on this one, was AJ Hinch.
Yeah,
He took a chance. He sold his owner on taking a guy who had a bad reputation. That was a big sell job, and he may never get to see it come to fruition, but I think that is the trigger here. And then you got to the Patricia Quinn firings where the ownership finally said is enough is enough, and Brad Holmes and maybe Matthew Stafford's blessing in disguise to go to ownership and say, I want out. You know, nobody's saying it's going to work, and I'll tell you what, right now, for one of these 4 teams, it's probably not going to. It's probably going to have to be a reset, right? Because that's the law of averages. Yes. But I'm, like last night, I know I said it earlier, I said I'm going to use expletives in my text to you guys because I haven't been this re-energized about the Pistons in forever.
I know. You've been a Piston basher. You've always said that their playoff failures were never almost as bad as the Lions.
Yeah, because how can you go 10 plus years without winning an NBA playoff game? One. And I mean, I think last night in taking Cunningham, I think they might make the playoffs next year.
We'll see.
That's everything coming together.
Yes, because in the East, you know, a lot of the younger teams are getting better too as well.
It's like, you know what? Weaver's doing it the right way. And he's stuck with Dwayne Casey, which I love. And because I think he's a good coach. It's like, I'm almost like, you know, I'm scared that the Mavericks are going to come calling for him, you know? I think he is a good coach and can be a championship coach. And he was in a similar situation with the Raptors.
He couldn't beat LeBron, and then he got axed, and they got Kyrie, and they won the title. So he laid the groundwork. There's no doubt about it. Let's go to Mike and Lion down here, 97 on the ticket.
Hey guys, what's up? So, last night I was in my bedroom, absolutely ecstatic.
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
But then I thought to myself a little bit, well, the OKC Thunder still paying players for the draft. This key player, they've been a hot team. Well, I was down here. This is a hypothetical I've thought about for myself. They have a guy for the pick. I think they have something like 17 through 24 or something like that.
The Thunder have like 3. I'm looking at it now. 6, 9, 12. I think they have 16 or 17 first-round picks between now, this draft in July, and the 2026 draft.
A lot more than they need.
Yes.
What we're trying to say. Would you guys possibly, with an amazing offer, take away for, say, 16 and 18? I think they had in the first. Shea Gilgis and maybe something else. Because I can almost guarantee Sam Presti's it's at least running through his mind, if not smaller.
Well, I'm sure it's running through his mind, but even though if you trade those first-round picks, it's not going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
And you're not going to get a talent like him.
Well, you're right. If Oklahoma City would have been a top 4, then maybe. But there's, I don't know. If you think, unless Pro Weaver doesn't, but if you think that this guy is the guy, you're not going to trade away
For anything.
You're just
Not to start this off.
And that's why I likened it to Lawrence and Hunt a little bit. You just can't not take it. You can't. Troy Weaver could lose his job so fast by making a move like that. And like you guys said, maybe if OKC was 2 or 3, maybe. Yeah, still would.
All right, ticket text. So Vellante and David have the connections upstairs. A little unnerving. That's right. Now Vellante has to like be a man of God now, right? Kate is Ben Simmons with a 3-ball. Trey and Taylor. Now I don't know if that's a compliment or not. The way Ben Simmons did everything during his class, but I think it's a compliment because Ben Simmons can get to the hole and all that, and he won't shoot threes. You guys have mentioned that John Beilein will be the one coaching. That's true. Player development.
Yes.
No doubt about that. I was watching the draft with my 4-day-old son in my arms when Sewell was picked. Last night he was in my arms when the Pistons landed at number 1. Amazing feeling. What a great time to be a Detroit fan. Well, where was your kid when the Wings had the lottery?
Yes, you're going to have to be holding him for the next 18 years every time there's a draft.
I'm surprised I haven't heard this comparison yet on the show, here in Detroit especially. Kate Cunningham,
Detroit since they took Darko Milicic, number 2, back in 2003, and the first top selection since drafting Bob Lanier out of St. Bonaventure University. A second straight victory for the Tigers as they stomped the Cardinals 8-2 at Comerica Park with 12 hits in 8 innings. Jonathan Scope and Jake Rogers combining for 6 RBIs, Kyle Funkhauser earning the win for his first decision after relieving Tarek Skubal in the 5th inning. Detroit improves their record to 31-42 and 16-19 at home. They'll battle St. Louis again during a day game this afternoon with Matt Manning getting the second start of his career and first at Comerica Park. And the Montreal Canadiens get out to a 3-2 series lead in Game 5 of the semifinals. The Golden Knights fall 4-1 in Vegas. Also, the Suns continuing their storm as they defeat the Clippers 104-103 and have a 2-1 series lead after Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you, Chris. Kind of fooled you there, John, with the Oklahoma State question.
Yes, you did. Yes, I was going Barry.
Yeah. Should they give Barry number 20? Should they give Cunningham number 20?
Yeah, sure. That's what I was going to ask too. Yeah,
number 87.
Yes, exactly. For Brandon Pettigrew. 248-539-9797. Euphoria. That's the word about Detroit right now as far as the sports fans go because of what happened yesterday. Pistons getting the number 1 pick. Arthur and Grand Blanc, what's up?
It gives you the vibe of Isaiah Thomas coming. Even though, we didn't automatically become world beaters, we knew we had the centerpiece, so we knew that eventually we were going to become winners. Just because of that player that sits there that would not let us lose close games and different things like that. This kid puts me in the mind of an Isaiah Thomas type of player that changes the whole mindset of the team and the whole culture of the team.
I hope you're right, Arthur. Let me ask you this, because I was not in Detroit when this happened. When the Isaiah draft happened, he went second. Aguirre went first. Was there anticipation that Dallas was going to take Isaiah, or you knew Donald Carter, who was a weird owner for the Mavericks, loved Mark Aguirre so much that you kind of knew that was going to happen?
Not so much. The biggest concern with Isaiah was that he wanted to go to Chicago because he was from Chicago. And that he wouldn't play for us. That was the biggest concern. Mark Aguirre was going to Dallas because he was a scorer, he was a primetime player, he was doing well in the NCAA tournament, but the biggest thing was would Isaiah play for Detroit? Once he signed on, we were set.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Thanks for the call. One other thing before we get to something else briefly. If you believe ESPN, basketball gurus and, scout evaluators, Mike Schmidt says one of the most complete prospects I've ever evaluated on Cade Cunningham. Teams really love his versatility. He's got the Luka Doncic-esque step back. He was the most efficient isolation player in all of college basketball this past season. Speaking of evaluations, Rashad Phillips, from the UD star, who was with us before the draft last year. He knows his stuff better than anybody. I want to find out what he has to say. If this is definitely no-brainer, he'll join us at 7:35.
On what Arthur said, I almost went there, and I'm trying to hold back a little bit this morning, and somebody else brought up Grant Hill earlier. I honestly believe this kid may be the best draft pick for this franchise since Isaiah. I do.
Yeah, I think it could be clear.
I'm not trying to oversell this thing. He's got it all.
Take the exit.
There's
Then
no
turn right onto
off-court
South
problems.
Michigan
I
Avenue
mean,
toward Bigby.
it's just the full. What they're going to have to figure out is how they're going to weave Killian Hayes into this. But you got your guy who's going to sit out there and hoist threes. Cunningham is going to be able to get open.
Use the right lane to turn onto
it
South
just
Michigan
is.
Avenue toward Bigby.
I don't know. I'm
He's for today's NBA. You're absolutely right. He fits perfectly.
And his size is just the game changer.
Yeah. Look, I hope he has a Pistons career. Grant Hill was great for the Pistons. And his career went downhill after that a little bit.
I mean, he naturally stepped into Oklahoma State and over 20 points per game, 40 from 3, 6 rebounds plus per game, 3.5 assists per game. In a pandemic, almost a block per game.
Turn right
You didn't have the opportunity as a freshman to come in and do it the right way. He did it naturally.
Speaking of the right way, okay, Troy Weaver and this organization has done this the right way. I mean, we joked a long time, I hope they lose games. It's good, I get that, and I'm part of that as well. The fade for Cade or whatever we want to call it, tanking for the last couple of years. But this year, they did exactly what you had to do. They lost enough, but they developed enough. And that's not an easy thing to do, both. And they accomplished that.
Well, they played good in losing.
Yes.
And you saw that what Troy Weaver was able to do was get rid of some veteran players that were stealing minutes from the young guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that in them. And then you see two rookies get recognized. You see, the experience that some of these young players were able to gain this year. And then look at, okay, Cade is not coming into a blank slate. All right?
Right.
And you have all of the moves that, Troy Weaver was able to put together in last year's draft. Killian Hayes, right? We had some debate about who he would take and all of that stuff and who was the better pick.
Right, I would have taken Halliburton, but,
Right.
whatever.
And it's still TBD. But you think about what he was able to do in the draft trades in being able to get Isaiah Stewart, that not a lot of people, everybody thought at that time that, this is crazy. Why would he do this? Well, it seems to have paid off a little bit. Sadiq Bey, another draft trade. Saban Lee, another draft trade.
How about getting Diallo, who hopefully will be on this team next year? He showed a lot of athleticism. Frank Jackson.
Yeah.
So they have some major decisions that they have to make as well. Even guys that he got that, I criticized, Plumlee.
Yeah.
I mean, he contributed. Would you rather have Christian Wood? I mean, Houston's going to build their franchise around Christian Wood and whoever they pick it to.
How about the young nucleus, too? And just how the flexibility they're going to have cap-wise.
Right.
I mean, they potentially, if this nucleus hits, they're going to be attractive to free agents.
They should be, yeah.
Yeah.
And people always say, well, Detroit can't get free agents. Let me tell you something. I don't want to, sugarcoat this, with an African-American general manager and an African-American head coach and a good young team ready to win, that helps.
And money to spend?
Yes.
That helps more.
And you don't know what ownership's like either when you're on the good side of things.
Yes.
Maybe that's something that can attract.
Yeah, hopefully. Right, exactly. We don't know what it's like. He's, since Gores has owned this team, they've been crap.
Yeah.
Some of it arguably his fault, but seriously, I mean, that's what it's been. Look at the array of coaches that they've had.
Yeah, they've had, a number of them, but it goes down to talent. Like, you can have, we think Dwayne Casey is the right guy at the right time, but you've got to have all of the talent to go along with it, and they have talent, and it's all young and cheap right now.
Exactly. Well, except for Jeremy Grant, who's somewhat expensive, but you know what?
Yeah, but in the scope of things, no, he's not.
Yeah, I got $20 million a year, whatever he's making. Yeah, and you know what? He's great that he was here. He can get better, but they can also package him somewhere and get maybe somebody young. I don't know, whatever. There's still a lot to be done there. Jeff and Troy, what's up?
I'm super excited this morning. I want to say that, we might have really struck gold in this whole thing. It might be with Troy Weaver. And the reason I say that is he kind of took an opposite approach, right? A lot of teams will wait till they get lucky to get that elite player, that potential superstar, and then they build around that guy. He kind of built the entire foundation in one draft and then got the luck you needed to get that elite player, potentially in Cade Cunningham. So, to your earlier point, you mentioned Jeremy Grant just now. I think that they're looking, this is a theory I have, they're looking at Hamidou Diallo to probably play the role that Jeremy Grant is currently playing. And like you said, Stoney, they might use Jeremy Grant as like a bargaining chip now.
It could be. I mean, everybody used to call Jack McCloskey Trader Jack. You never know what Trader Troy's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be really interesting to see what he does coming up to the draft. I mean, I'm sure he's going to receive offers for that pick. I don't think he'll take anything. I truly don't.
No.
But to see what he does, what other maneuvering he does this summer, I don't think drafting Cade Cunningham is the end of what he's planning on doing. I think there may be other things involved.
Yeah, I agree with you. They might have some money for some free agents. Nothing big this year. Maybe a Bird exception type of player. They also have, not that people love them that much, but they also have 3 second-round picks, 37, 42, and 52. Well, so that's,
We've seen what Troy Weaver can do in the draft, and it seems like he's got a really good eye for talent.
Yes.
They can use those picks and trade up for Franz Wagner. No, in all seriousness, to the caller's point, I think what people are seeing here is Troy Weaver made his fortune. He deserves this in some ways. I truly, honestly believe that. I had a great feeling going into last night, and as the picks were being unveiled, I was like, I had my text ready to go to you guys. Like, I felt it was happening. I know, Stoney, you felt like, oh no, negative Nancy.
Right. I actually thought I thought 3 or 4.
I'm not the most positive person all the time in the world, but for some reason, I just felt like this was going to happen. And it's almost like they deserved it. And it's the same thing with Brad Holmes and how Sewell fell to them. It's as if they've made their own luck.
Yeah, well, sir, that's true. But obviously, this town, these teams certainly deserve, and the fans here deserve a little of this luck too. Heather, always lucky, is next with news. What's up, Heather?
Well, students at Dearborn Public Schools are going to be lucky next year, and I'm going to tell you why. There's something changing, and they're going to be very excited.
Wow, 97 won the ticket.
All right, you guys, nobody wants to lose their hair. So when you start noticing that your hair is thinning or that you're balding, it can really be devastating, right? But I want to tell you that Dr. Berkowitz from Michigan Hair Restoration, he is here to help. Dr. B is one of the most recognized experts in the country on hair restoration. He has over 25 years of experience, and he's performed over 2 million grafts. Plus, he only works with a hand-selected, dedicated medical team. So I am telling you, he is the man. He is the surgeon that you can trust. And for a limited time, he's actually got a very special offer just for you. He's offering 97.1 The Ticket listeners with $1,000 off retail price plus 0% financing on your hair restoration procedure. This is a big deal. All you have to do is tell him that Heather sent you or mention 97.1 The Ticket. Now, if you want to get to know a little bit more about some of his procedures and what he does, he actually has a book. It's called No Hair. That's KNOW Hair, of course, and it's available anytime online at MichiganHairRestoration.com. And it's a whole comprehensive guide to all things hair restoration. So it can really make you feel a little bit more comfortable before you even go in for your consultation to see Dr. B. Just remember, you got to take advantage of this offer. $1,000 off retail price and 0% financing. So now really is the perfect time to go schedule your appointment at MichiganHairRestoration.com. And remember to take advantage of this limited time offer. Just tell them that Heather sent you.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by St. Joseph Mercy. An accident has just cleared from the right side of 75 northbound after Allen Road. Meantime, another accident is slowing you down just a bit on 696 westbound after Orchard Lake Road. The deck go route you can trust to get around it is 12 Mile. Then on 94 westbound at 12 Mile, a crash there is blocking both shoulders, and traffic volumes are beginning to build through the construction zone 75 heading southbound near 12 Mile. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Building a world-class sports station in a world-class sports city.
St. Joe's urges all eligible members of the community to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Supplies and appointments are available. Learn more at stjoeshealth.org/vaccine. For St. Joe's, I'm Lila Lazarus.
Everywhere I go, people ask me, is now the right time to sell our home? Hi, it's Mark Z with eXp. And in this fast-changing real estate market, it's critical you choose the right agent with the right marketing plan. Call me, Mark Z, and I'll get your home sold, guaranteed. I'm not bragging. I'm applying for the job. Call me, Mark Z, today at 844-SOLD-BY-Z and start packing.
Call 844-SOLD-BY-Z.
Hi friends, Bill Golling here for Golling Kia of Madison Heights. If you currently own a Kia, I'd like to invite you to visit our new facility on 14 Mile Road, east of the Oakland Mall, right off I-75. We offer great friendly service, have a well-stocked parts department, and factory-trained technicians. Need a different set of wheels? We offer everything from tires to an outstanding selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. So come discover the Golling difference. Remember, we want to see you in a Golling Kia. Check us out online at gollingkia.com.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. The word is out. The majority of our loans at Hall Financial are ready to close in